welcome back to the channel. So we got a couple things going on today. We just picked up my truck. I had some new tires put on, but we'll catch you guys later in the video and explain to why I did that. But right now we're gonna go ahead and jump over to my buddy's truck and explain what that is and what's going on with it. So we're over here right now. Here's the 69 F100 on a 2007 Crownvic frame. It was a swap, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump over and let him explain it to you guys.
As he said, today we're gonna be looking at my 69 F100 that's a Crownvic swap. So as some of you may know, this is not a 69 grill. This is actually a 70 grill. And one point of its life, the front end was wrecked, and so they just threw any front end that fit on there. So it's got a 70 grill on it. Alrighty guys, so we are going to jump around to the back so I can show you some of the work that we had to do to make this bed fit. So right off the bat, you can tell that this bed has been shortened. It used to be a long bed, and we cut 14 inches out of the front to make it work between the wheelbase, and we also cut 4 inches out of the rear just to make it more even. And come take a look in the bed. Right here, you can tell there's a lot missing out of the bed. A lot of the bed was rusted just like this side, so we just went ahead and cut most of that out. We also had to notch a little bit because the Crownvic rear end and the frame is a little bit taller than the Ford factory one, so we went ahead and cut it out so that it would all fit. And next we'll jump to underneath the hood and show you guys the motor. Okay guys, so right here, if you take a look under the hood, it's got a 4.6 2-valve out of a Crownvic. It's the same motor that came in about a 96 to a 2004 Mustang, and the motor itself is really reliable. It's just doesn't make so much power. Makes right around 250, so it's nice for putting around, but we got big plans to maybe throw a supercharger right here on top, and we'll see you later. Okay guys, so we're gonna go ahead and show you some of the interior that I did to this, some of the challenges that I had on fitting the Crownvic air conditioning and heat in here, and we'll get up a close-up shot and I'll tell you some more about it. So right off the bat, it has the Crownvic cluster out of it. I kept the entire wiring harness out of the Crownvic. So I got the original turn signals right here. These are not final. I have the original turn signal. I just need to wire them up. Next is right here. You can see I have the AC vents. These are just custom right now. I'm going to, later on in the future, I'm going to build a center console and move this shifter right up here on top of the column whenever I get a new column. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire this thing up so you guys can see how easy it starts and how good it sounds. So as you can see, the truck fired up really easy. It sounds pretty good and it idles. Also, the steering on this is from the Crownvic, so it steers amazing. It's really tight and it rides just like a 2007 Crownvic.
Alrighty guys, so as you guys can tell, there has been a ton of fabrication that's went into this build. So what are some things you had trouble with?
Some of the troubles we had on this build particularly is the cab mounting was a little bit more of a struggle because you have to build the rear cab mount to hold the cab, and after that the cab basically bolts on to the front mounts how the Crownvic did. The bed was also a pretty big struggle because you have to notch the bed to make it work, and you also have to make bed mounts for the bed to bolt onto. And also was whenever we shortened the bed, you also had to make sure it was a straight cut so that way the bed wasn't warped or anything, and then you also tack the welds the whole way down so that way the metal didn't get too hot and warp. That way the whole bed wasn't wavy. But that was pretty much of all the struggles, I think.
When you were doing the motor and everything, taking the cab off the Crownvic and stuff, did you have to modify anything with the motor or anything like that to make this front clip and cab fit?
The front clip, we did not have to cut any or make any special mounts. One of the other struggles that we had was doing the AC. We used the AC out of the Crownvic just because it was already in there, and why not make this older truck just as nice as a newer car and put AC in. So we cut the firewall out of the Crownvic, welded it into the firewall of this F100, and now we have AC and heat. So that, and pretty much, I think, is there anything else?
That's all I could think of right now. But let's go ahead and let you jump around. So once you got the truck, how did the truck start? Was it a rolling chassis? I know you had originally told me it came from a mine. It used to be a four-wheel drive mine truck, but obviously you guys can see it's a two-wheel drive truck on a Crownvic chassis, so that means it's now two-wheel drive. Did you have to do anything special to convert that, or was it pretty easy?
Whenever I first got the truck, as he said, it was a mine truck, and it would have taken a lot of money to keep it on the four-wheel drive chassis and make everything work the way it was. It was a lot easier and a lot cheaper to make this work, and that's why this truck has a lot of rust, is because it was a mine truck. It wasn't taken care of very good, and they didn't care if it had any rust or anything done to it. So I'll throw in some pictures. I have some pictures of when I first got it, on how I got it and received it, and a little bit of pictures of when I was building it, and all the way up to how it is right now. And it's still not finished. There's still a lot that I want to go ahead and do on this, but we'll go ahead and we'll keep you guys updated as this thing progresses, because I really want to get this thing progressing.
Alrighty, so as you guys did see, this has came a long way, but if you were to do it again, what were some things you would change, maybe do a little bit different? Like, I mean, as it is, it's a really cool truck, and so just explain, like, if you were to do it again, what would you do different?
If I were to do this swap again, I would do it with a nicer cab and nicer bed, something with a lot less rust. But as I said, this was in my family for quite a while, so I wanted to keep it in the family, and instead of the truck just maybe going to the scrapyard, is what some of my family members just saw as something that was just an old piece of rusty truck. But I saw potential in it and wanted to do this so I could keep driving it, and whenever I drive it, I can think of my grandparents and kind of what this truck's been through and a lot of different experiences.
Right on, right on. Alrighty guys, so this is all we're gonna cover right now on the Crownvic. So drop in the comments if you guys have any questions on things that he may have run into trouble with, or any questions about it. But right now we're gonna go ahead and jump over to my GMC and explain to you guys why I put new tires on. Alrighty guys, so we're back at my truck, and like I said, I did just put new tires on the truck. The reason why I put new tires on this is because I had the Toyo RTs, and those tires did not perform. They were horrible in snow and in sand. And with everything I'm doing, I need to be able to get traction in those areas. So I went with the Toyo AT2, and I had these tires on this truck before, and they were a great tire. So I plan to just keep going with them, and I'll let you guys know how they perform. So that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. So I would want you guys to drop in the comments on what you guys think on his truck, but also we got a new build coming to the channel, so stay tuned for that. We just picked it up the other day, but I want you guys to drop in the comments and tell me what you guys think it is. Is it a UTV? Is it another truck? Is it a swap like that? A car? What do you guys think it's gonna be? But if you like this video, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button, and please subscribe. Peace.